the team of Shadow Jackson and Nemesis. No team in the history of the NWA Arena has ever been three-time tag team champions. The opposition comes in the form of Mikki Free and the ticking time bomb Jason Justice, who has held tag team gold in this building before. But these four men, it is no secret that there is no love here. And the fact of the matter is, this match plays to both teams. It is no disqualification. There must be a winner. Essentially, Harold James's only job is to count the fall or to signal the concession in the middle of the ring.
Greg Hunter, several matches have gone by. We've seen no contest. We've seen these teams been disqualified. We've seen objects brought into the ring. We've seen the chain. We've seen a lot of stuff happen. Tonight, all that's legal. There is going to be a winner. TV time remaining. All rules thrown out the window. Somebody has to win tonight and get some conclusion in this war. Now, at one time, these were four of the most popular men in NWA Anarchy. The Urban Assault Squad has stayed just that way as Nemesis dives through the rope. Sorry.
Suicide dive as Nemesis wipes out all of Justice served. And now, Shadow Jackson, likewise, heading to the floor. Everybody is up. Shadow Jackson off the apron with the flying cross body. And we now have what is essentially a train wreck here on the arena floor.
And Mikki Free is one of the first ones up to his feet and just throws Nemesis right back in the ring. Now, as we said, there's no rules in this match. Now, I do believe it is contested under normal tag rules, but with all four men being in the ring, since there are no rules, I guess there's nothing wrong with that either.
Well, think about it. No disqualification means there's no 5 count. Means you can't be disqualified for not tagging in. So right now, there must be a winner, which generally speaking in the annals of wrestling history means pinfall, submission, or the referee stops the contest. As right now, Shadow Jackson and Jason Justice trade leather back and forth in the center of the ring. And Shadow Jackson, one chop after another, sends Justice in, clothesline, duck and miss, bang! Spinebuster slam by one half of the Anarchy Tag Team Champions. And Mikki Free, Pearl Harbor from behind. Jackson goes down, and Nemesis now firing away with the chops.
Greg Hunter, I mean, the emotions are running wild, and right there, Mikki Free just ripping the shirt right off of Nemesis and delivering those chops. Greg Hunter, this right here is not going to be pretty. Harry Jim had to draw the short straw for this one.
Harold James, the unluckiest man in a striped shirt in this building tonight. Big double clothesline. And the one thing that we have always seen with the Anarchy tag titles on the line, where the Urban Assault Squad is concerned, they have held these tag team titles 3 separate occasions. They are the perennial tag team champions in NWA Anarchy. It is as if the championships are their property. What cover 2 and only a 2 count. They will go to any lengths, and I mean any lengths, to retain those titles. I mean, think about it. Matches where people have to get hung. Table matches, and I don't mean one table, I mean 5 tables.
Yep.
These guys will go to any lengths. That's just a sample of the brutality, and these 4 men legitimately do not like each other. You were nearly a casualty of that back in Helen.
Back in Helen, right? A few days before season's beatings, I conducted an interview with these 4 men and Jerry Palmer, and you want to talk about a wreck. I mean, and the thing about it is we were all at Jerry Palmer's private cabin up there in Helen, Georgia, and I mean, you talk about a very awkward scene because all of us had different rooms in that cabin.
Oh, that goes to show you the Urban Assault Squad learning the habits of Justice Served. Nemesis using Mikki Free as a springboard for the diving clothesline, much the way Jason Justice does. And then that senton, I mean, just the sheer aggression of these 4 men, the sheer dislike. And of course, we saw just a couple of weeks ago, Justice Served give their opinion of Jerry Palmer. And Shadow Jackson has apparently been to Home Depot tonight.
Well, Greg Hunter, you alluded to the whole thing with the Justice Served and Jerry Palmer. I've had my people on it all week. They said something about their representation. I haven't heard anything else about it. I've had people contacting other people. I've tried to have a conversation with Justice Served. They told me I need to seek out the representation, but they're not telling anybody who it is.
Well, one can only assume that it is some sort of legal counsel that they have, someone handling their business affairs now. Not uncommon in the sports world for that to happen.
Why didn't they call me? I only take 50%.
That might be why they didn't call you. And right now, the table looming ominously in the southwestern corner of the ring. Shadow Jackson set hard into the corner. Shadow Jackson comes hard out of the corner, taking Mikki free down with the clothesline.
Meanwhile, Greg Hunter, over there, what side of the corner is that?
Since you don't know how to read a compass, that would be the northeastern corner of the ring.
Okay, the northeastern corner of the ring, we had Jason Justice choking out Nemesis. I don't know directions. Okay, that's that corner over there where they're choking him out.
Punches being rained down on the head of Shadow Jackson. Jason Justice and Nemesis, the far side from our announced position, trading leather on the floor. Knife edge chops back and forth, fighting their way around the ring. Shadow Jackson has Mikki free in the corner, bringing him out the hard way.
Now, to clarify one thing for you fans at home watching this, pinfalls do not count outside the ring. This is not a falls count anywhere match. You do have to score the pinfall inside the ring.
The decision, indeed, has to occur in the ring. There simply must be a winner, and a chair handed in by a fan and hurled like a major league fastball towards the head of Jason Justice, as now Nemesis begins to choke him out. Mikki free, choking out Shadow Jackson on the far side of the ring, and now trying to ram him head first into the turnbuckle. Elbow, make it two. Nemesis has the chair. And down goes Mikki free.
Greg Hunter, the Urban Assault Squad are nothing more than a couple common street thugs. These guys, they're rough, tough customers. That's the thing about them. And that's what they're doing right now. They're going back to their hood. They're going back to their street mentality. So, as they always say, their G. Their G was tested, and this is what happens when you test their G.
Nemesis perhaps looking for the pile driver on the chair. Mikki free, back body drop out of that. Shadow Jackson and Jason Justice fighting on the floor. Justice with the remnants of the Urban Assault Squad t-shirt, choking out Jackson. That chair brought down across the back of Nemesis with considerable force.
And I mean, you're talking about a guy like Mikki Free, a guy who's a power lifter, former arm wrestling champion. I mean, this guy is huge. And I mean, just driving that chair right through the spine of Nemesis, one has to wonder how much time is actually left in the reign of the Urban Assault Squad.
Well, we have asked that question on numerous occasions, but right now the Urban Assault Squad doing what they always do, which is fighting with every ounce of strength they have in their bodies to continue their reign as Anarchy Tag Team Champions. Knife edge chops from Shadow Jackson.
Greg Hunter, with the exception of Tank and Iceberg, this is the largest tag team the Urban Assault Squad has had to face, and one of the only couple of tag teams that could actually match them strength for strength.
Shadow Jackson hitting nothing but guardrail. You're absolutely right. Tank and Iceberg, the largest team that these men have ever faced, but I would call Justice Served certainly the toughest test these men have ever faced. They have the size, they have the strength, but they also have mobility. They are incredibly agile. They are incredibly vicious. In many ways, they mirror the Urban Assault Squad.
Reminiscent of the late, great Bam Bam Bigelow as far as being big, agile men in the ring there. I mean, these guys right here, rough, tough customers, but don't get it wrong. These guys, I mean, they can come off the top rope. They can move with a quickness. And right now, the Urban Assault Squad, like you said, equals in that same department, rough and tough, but also agile for men their size.
Certainly. We've seen Nemesis fly on several occasions. Nemesis at the moment in the hands of Jason Justice, rammed head first into the guardrail. He is now down below our announce position on the opposite side of the entrance ramp. Shadow Jackson.
And that infamous chain being brought out, Greg Hunter, being wrapped around the throat of Nemesis. But Shadow Jackson's got it. Oh, the big chair shot right on the back.
And now winds up. Chair to the skull of Jason Justice. He deflected it somewhat, but nowhere near enough. And now Shadow Jackson on the floor has the Boston Crab applied. Now our understanding, the submission cannot happen on the floor. It's not falls count anywhere. Mikki free though, keeping any further damage from being done, and Jason Justice writhing in pain. Nemesis ramming Mikki free right in front of our timekeeper's table.
Well, Harry Jim was out there looking for the decision, so maybe he's just going to let this go and try to let the pinfall or the decision occur anywhere he wants it to. Maybe it's a judgment call from the referee. With the rules being as such as they are, with there not being any rules, maybe it's a referee's decision. We'd have to check the rule book on that one.
Well, you never know. Right now,
some sort of judgment call maybe.
Well, then again, maybe Harold James just wants to get out of the line of fire. Right now.
I don't blame him.
Well, neither do I. Forearms, one after another from Nemesis to Jason Justice. Mikki free being thrown back in the ring by Jackson. Nemesis with the big knee lift. Jackson, clothesline. And now, here comes Jason Justice. Lines up now. Shoulder block. And now comes off the far side, making another shoulder block.
Wait a minute, and they're pointing at the table. Now, Greg Hunter, back at Fright Night, November 4th in Helen, Georgia, this is exactly how they won the NWA Anarchy Tag Team Championship for the third time.
Is also how they got the title shot. They won a tables match tag team tournament to get the shot in the first place. So they are certainly well acquainted with the lumber and have it set up right in the center of the ring and putting Jason Justice on that table. Shadow Jackson making sure Justice is going nowhere. Mikki free trying to get back in the ring.
And Nemesis is going to the top rope.
Mikki free.
Wait a minute. Whoa, hey, security, we got a fan.
Some guy just jumped out of the crowd.
Obviously not an Urban Assault Squad fan.
Obviously not.
I like him already.
Somebody jumped out of the crowd and pulled Nemesis down. Nemesis sent through the table. 1, 2. Good God, we've got new tag team champions.
Now, wait a minute.
NWA Anarchy Tag Team Champions, Mikki Free and Jason Justice.
Wait a minute, this guy.
He's standing in the ring now. I mean, we just saw Mikki Free and Jason Justice are the new Anarchy Tag Team Champions.
Hold on, wait a minute. This guy's taking his stuff off.
Well, he is.
My God. I know that hairline anywhere.
That's Al Getz!
It's Al Getz!
What is Al Getz doing back in the NWA arena?
Al Getz has come in, and with the assist, Justice served as your new Anarchy Tag Team Champions. That's the representation.
Well, one could only assume they've got Shadow Jackson up, drill him across that table. Al Getz is well acquainted not only with Jason Justice, I mean, he once managed the man, but he's well acquainted with the Urban Assault Squad too, and he just helped Justice serve. He just helped them win the tag team titles. What in the world?
Greg Hunter, this is great. Al Getz,
who's one of the sneakiest, most underhanded men this building's ever seen. And Jerry Palmer out here now. wanting to know, screaming, is that your representation?